group overall, Dean? Because it seems like quite a competitive group so far, this Group D.
Oh yeah, certainly. I think EPSILON, maybe they weren't coming into this, they weren't one of the favourites, but I think from the performances they've shown, I would probably be favouring them, maybe even over Sprout, but I think taking down QB Fire is going to be difficult. QB Fire, I'd say they are, after their results at the Major, the #1 team in this group in terms of having that experience, having the results really to show for the performances, and yeah, I'd say it is going to be a tough one for EPSILON. I don't really know how to predict this because we haven't really seen enough of them. Cobblestone, it is a map that they've actually performed extremely well on. I believe even taking down Mouse Sports in the IEM qualifier, the IEM Katowice qualifier. Of course, this is also one, but the direct one's the European one. I believe they took down 16 to 14, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a map they've had some solid performances on. So I think it should be a close one, but overall, I'd probably edge the series to QB Fire.
Yeah, certainly still some questions about this EPSILON lineup with them being so new. For example, the second map today, Train, they haven't played any official games on up until this point, so that will be fun to watch out for to see how much EPSILON have prepared for Train, because I assume they haven't practiced it that often. They often seem to go away from that map. But here we go. We're heading underway into Cobblestone, and I think EPSILON, it's almost a must-win for them this first map, and Surreal peeking out through A long, spots out Boomich and tags him a little bit. Boomich the only player with any utility for this initial pistol round, with EPSILON going full on for the Kevlar. And they certainly have quite a few skilled players, so clearly they just want to rely on that aim. QB Fire in the meantime, they gain control over towards Danger, but they don't want to go for the full-on push just yet. Taking things slowly, and with Boomich having the nades, they can wait, of course, for him to throw them out and then go for the push.
Yeah, certainly. Smooya, he is in a good position right now to actually be able to spot mid and get a bit of info early if we see anyone come back in this direction. But the main problem is right now the fact that there's no defuse kit for the CT side. If they don't get at least 2 or 3 initial kills on this push, it will be a very difficult retake, and it's not going to be so easy. That smoke, as you mentioned, is available along with a couple of flashes, and right now, just a bit of a stalemate. QB Fire yet to really move. They're waiting to see if they can catch any of this aggression, but as we can see, EPSILON, they're happy enough with just hanging back and waiting to try and take those long-range fights with his USPs. But finally, QB Fire, they look to try and get a move on. Nicely placed smoke with a flash also coming in alongside it is going to be able to force Smooya back off. He repositions himself towards the balcony, tapping away a bit of an awkward fight for both Surreal and Smooya, as no kills are yet to come in, just some damage, and eventually Surreal steps it up. He finds that first headshot. He is going to need some support from Smooya on the balcony to cover off his below-sight push, but Robin is the first one to fall, actually, and Valina, nice find onto Surreal. That is going to be the one-man advantage. Make that the two-man advantage now in favour of the terrorist side, and it's all on the Smooya to try and clutch this one out. He is going to be able to at least find one. Valina being extremely low as well gives him a bit of a chance, but with the bomb now getting planted, he doesn't have the most time in the world to work with. He still have quite a bit though. He has made his way out towards the van. They're definitely aware of this. You can see Valina how cautious he's being, and he may even be able to find the back of his opponent, as I believe the shadow has been spotted, and he will be able to win that one out. Gets the pistol round now in favour of QB Fire. As I mentioned, that was just going to be a very scrappy round there just towards that A-bomb site.
Yeah, a couple of players struggling a little bit with their aim, but that's as you would expect for the first round. They've still got time to warm things up. However, in terms of EPSILON's hold on the A site there, I mean, you saw just the one smoke in towards door forced Smooya back. He did get to reposition in towards Heaven, but I think QB Fire were quite ready for that one. You saw them already sort of pre-aiming that position. And Smooya, sure, he didn't go down, but he couldn't really assist Surreal that well towards the site. It was mainly the rotating players that went down first. So either way, QB Fire do take the pistol, and they do invest into a couple of AKs for this second round. We are going to see EPSILON with 2 players committed to A, and T-Sack. There's a little bit of damage there. Quick taken down to half HP. In the meantime, Boomich will push forwards. I don't know how that smoke landed up there, but there we go. Doesn't quite do what it was planned to. Either way, nothing really happening early on, except for the fact that EPSILON have fallen back. Robin was thinking about the rotate, but not going to come through just yet. So again, QB Fire just taking things slowly. Generally quite an aggressive team, but T-Sack gets a first kill. Push is still going to come through by the looks of things, but QB Fire not fully committing just yet, and the rotate has come over now.
Oh, Robin, look at this position. He's going to actually be able to catch off Waterfalls, who snuck his way in towards the connector. Actually, this is a pretty decent position for EPSILON. They will lose one player as Smooya tries to back off and get out of that hut. He gets taken down by Jump Kit. Still a pretty decent position right now for EPSILON, as the 3 terrorists are kind of just in a bit of a stagnated position right now. Jump Kit eventually tries to move forward. He gets taken down by Robin. I know Quick and Valina are going to be left to try and clutch this one out. Valina, last man standing, gets at least one. But that's a really nice round there by EPSILON, able to claim it with just the pistols. And to be firing out, they are going to be facing off against a double eco. So force buy, I'd say it's looking quite likely.
Yeah, QB Fire there looked somewhat disjointed with their push. After the first player went down, it seemed like they weren't sure whether or not they wanted to try and hit the A site. A couple of players pushed very quickly, and then the rest of the team eventually followed suit, but just not really quickly enough to get the trades. So now EPSILON looked good to be able to gain the early lead, but Jimka had the chance for the kill there, but Surreal manages to jump back to safety. Ooh, that nade does so much damage to Jimka, and he will be taken down. In the meantime, the rest of his team decided to go down drop instead, and that has worked for Valina to get the one kill. It's only a UMP recovered, and another nade does a little bit of damage. Not quite as much as the previous one this time around. It's just back to a 4v4 early on. Just as I say that, though, Smooya goes aggressive. That was a risk he took there with that rifle, but it pays off for the man advantage. But take a look at the mini-map. Boomage. He's going to push forwards, but Sak is aware. He gets that kill. That should effectively give EPSILON a good chance to close this out cleanly.
Yeah, should be. Neither of these remaining terrorists are looking so healthy, and Smooya into the spray, not going to really be connecting enough damage there, brings them down to 4 HP. It should be enough for the round to go in their favour, but maybe could get a little bit more done. Valina hoping maybe for one more kill at best, but maybe he'll be distracted. There's Surreal. He pounces on that opportunity, going to go in and get himself that kill and even upgrade slightly towards an MP7. I guess if that's if you consider that an upgrade, I guess, but I think he may have actually upgraded once again towards a UMP instead, so that definitely is a slightly better weapon. But coming into this one now, EPSILON should have a bit of an easier time. It is just going to be the full eco, able to even live through the previous round with 4 players alive. As QB Fire, just 5 Glocks to work with, very little firepower, and just 1 flash. I'd expect a bit of a faster round, but it seems like they will be just splitting up for a bit of a default at the moment.
Ooh, a little bit of damage done to Smooya. Having said that, Valina's down to 8 HP, so not the best of starts. A couple of nades go off, but they're not really going to connect. The push comes down drop. Robin only gets the 1 kill. In the meantime, great flash from Smooya gets him a free frag. There's a man advantage now for EPSILON. It looks like the bomb is going to push towards A, and there are a couple of players in connector that will try to make this work. They still need 2 kills to really claim the site, though.
Yeah, certainly. And with Surreal being able to shut down Valina over towards B, that should be it. Jack actually, it gets a little bit closer on towards the site, definitely cutting it a bit closer than he would have expected. But he wins out the fight, gets himself control of the bomb, and Jumpy going to be the last man standing. And once again, Smooya just pushing aggressively forward with that M4 is going to be able to shut that one down. So EPSILON claiming themselves a 3-1 lead. QB Fire after losing the pistol. They have to go for the force buy and an eco. That meant that they'll only be able to get the rifles out now. And when they do, it's not really going to be perfect. They lack the op. Not going to have that into the hands of early waterfalls. So let's see what they're going to be able to get done with just the 5 AKs. Seems like they may just split up for a bit of a default once again, with a lot of presence really being put over towards A. At least 3 players in this position, and Smooya, look at this, he's going to be trying to find an opening, and it actually is going to work out in his favour. He takes down waterfalls and retreats back now into a much safer position to ensure that no trades will be able to come in for QB Fire.
Smooya generally seems to be a very aggressive player, so when he goes for the AWP, he wants to get the opening pick again. But I think Smooya's aggression sometimes can be sort of countered by teams if they know he's going to go aggressive that often. And I think that's something QB Fire might be able to pick up on more as the series goes on. Nonetheless, this time around, Smooya does get the opening kill, so it works out for him. A little bit of team damage out towards A-Long. Nothing considerable, though, but in the meantime, this is considerable. Surreal has pushed all the way out through B-Plat. For the time being, there is no presence there from the QB Fire side. But I don't think Surreal will push any further. Either way, in the meantime, QB Fire have gone down drop, so this becomes interesting now. Surreal does catch the bomb out. That's Kvik dropped out of the round, and that could be a crucial kill. With the 2-man advantage, EPSILON look good, and Surreal extends it further. Double kill for him now.
Yeah, good work so far in this game by Surreal. We mentioned he was kind of in that 3rd star role for the EPSILON side, and he's definitely been stepping it up so far. We'll even go ahead and close that one out by taking down Valina. So a great round overall by EPSILON. They've been able to close out these past few rounds quite cleanly, and you can see because of that their economy, it is beginning to bolster itself up. You can see the average roughly right now is about 5,000 or 6,000, and the lowest is 3,750 onto Robin. So they're backing themselves up for a while to ensure that they will be able to keep buying. And up against an eco once again, or rather half buy this time by QB Fire thanks to the money bonus. They should have a good chance at being able to capitalise once again and get themselves that 5th round. But QB Fire ripping up towards B. This could get dangerous. Cosmin, he goes aggressive and actually will go ahead and sacrifice his life. Doesn't really find too much other than a bit of damage onto Quick and Boomich, as the weapon, at least for now, will be held back by a nicely placed Molotov. Jump through with that Eagle, even connecting more damage, and Surreal may be in trouble in this position, but he's actually going to be able to find at least one. Velina spins around, trades that one out, and now Robin from the pizza position going to try and find something. He has the support of Chak also, and it's actually going to be all going back in favour of EPSILON, as Robin's just handed another kill for free. Jumpkit trying to retrieve the weapon, and Smooya with the P250 tap. And EPSILON, they do end up shutting that one down. It was looking a little bit... looking like it could be a sticky situation after those couple of trades came in, but it did all go back in favour of the European mix side in the end.
Yeah, but now QB Fire get the full buy. Waterfalls has the AWP. And again, I don't want to point this out, that yesterday, or maybe the day before it was, I can't remember, but he had one map that was really awful, where he only got a couple of kills in the entire map. This time he's already down there with 0 kills alongside Boomich, and I think those are the 2 star players for QB Fire, and it's not worked again. EPSILON just taking the fights early on. Cosmin on the boost up also gets a frag. And that is not the start QB Fire we're looking for in such a key gun round. They're just getting picked apart 1 by 1. Boomich and Vorlina now the only 2 players left. And, well, this is starting to look very dominant from EPSILON.
Yeah, they're just so confident right now. You can see with the amount of aggressive pushes they're going for that they're confident in their ability to win these aim duels and be the better team, and it's going well so far. Maybe a bit of an overextension there by Cosmin as he pushes into the drop room, and it wasn't really needed, I'd say. That gives a small opening to QB Fire to try and get something done, but Smooya with the op in a good position, finds that kill there onto Boomich, uses the tracers to ensure that he's able to find that through the smoke, and now it's just going to be Felina that remains in a similar position, looking like he will be trying to make his way out this window, and once again may walk directly into the crosshair of Smooya. I mean, maybe could work out in his favour. We see Smooya has kind of refocused, and he's still actually yet to make his move from the drop room. He's not really in too much of a rush, I guess. He has about 40 seconds remaining, hoping that a mistake will be made. And you can see Smooya actually inching forward, maybe given an opportunity for this A-bomb site to be opened up. He doesn't connect the shot, but he does now have support as well, and he won't need it at all. He hits on the second chance, and EPSILON are able to close that one out.
Yeah, Smooya keeps his confidence up, and QB Fire, I don't think will go for the full investment here, or at least I wouldn't decide to do so. And they also agree with me, they're only going to go for pistols. So in this round, while we have a little bit of a lull in the game, I'm going to take this time to let you know about our giveaway here on eFrag. We've got a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested up for grabs. In order to enter, you just have to subscribe to the Twitch channel. And that will be given away on Sunday after the grand finals of this tournament. So make sure to get in there, because I don't think we've seen too many people get into that so far. So if you want a chance for that knife, make sure to subscribe to this Twitch channel. But either way, QB Fire taking a little bit of damage early on, and TSAC already going to get that opening kill. Yeah,
not a great start for QB Fire. Very limited in terms of what they have to work with, and they're beginning to become more limited as their players fall like dominoes. And Smooya, he doesn't look to try and stop this one either. He's going to push forward, and the only thing he's stopping really is the push from the T side, as Chak is also going to chime in with 1. Smooya, he's starting this game off strong. That's something you want to see for the EPSILON side. Smooya, of course, currently 11-2 actually, is that player that you really need to step it up on that side. He's the star, he's the up-and-coming talent that people are looking towards, and also along with Cosmin, who at the moment hasn't really needed to do so. 7-1, and Cosmin is currently bottom of the scoreboard for EPSILON, so that doesn't bode so well for QB Fire. But then again, now they get the rifles out, they are going to be looking to try and get themselves back into this one, and Waterfalls is going to be on the op also. So right now it is going to be a lot of presence over towards the B side of the map. It looks like this will be the focus early on to the T side to try and find the openings, but Smooya, once again, that confidence is shown. Waterfalls, it will be smoked off. He may have a chance at trading out, but Smooya pushing forward. What is this? The flash doesn't work in his favour. That was actually a team flash, and Smooya gets taken out due to that, and Velina going to be able to trade it over the smoke onto Surreal. And this round now, it's just kind of falling apart for EPSILON. QB Fire get their best chance to try and gain a round in quite a while.
Smooya just has no respect, does he? That almost reminds me of when Stewie first joined Cloud9, and he would literally do plays like that all the time. I mean, Smooya, Stewie, they both start with an S. Is Smooya the new smoke criminal? We'll find out throughout this game, but it doesn't work this time. Waterfalls finds his first kill, and that AWP in his hands might be enough to make the difference. 3v4 now that EPSILON have to overcome. TSAC is currently holding off towards A. He was playing in the midst of the smoke, but now he will fall back. You can see EPSILON quite spread out across the map here. It seems like the rotate is coming in. Cosmin will try to get into position, but TSAC, oh, he drops the bomb. That could be critical. Kvik is coming in from behind, but he doesn't get the kill. And TSAC can afford to play safe, but Cosme blinded up, as is Kvik. He eventually gets the spray down. 25 seconds left now, and they need to get the bomb, but still no moves being made. Robin, I thought he was going to spot out Paulina, but he is caught in the back. TSAC now has it all to do. 15 seconds left. He gets spotted out. There we go. QB Fire finally get another round.
Yeah, finally QB Fire able to get another round. It was actually looking so good for EPSILON. To me, I liked the original aggression, but I think he may have slightly... Maybe he got a little bit zealous there, wanted to get a bit more, tried to push forward at the smoke, and it was a good idea, but the team flash system didn't really give him any sort of assistance in getting that second kill. And after that, it just went all back in fire, all back in favor of QB Fire, rather, as now into this one. EPSILON, they built up a great bank, of course, they can continue to buy for this round at least, and may even be able to afford one in the upcoming. As Cosme, he's actually able to take down Jump early on through that smoke, and nicely placed nade, done the initial damage, and Cosme was able to close that one out with a spray wildly through it. As now, EPSILON with a one-man advantage. QB Fire can't really afford a reset to come in this round right now.
Well, finally, it's someone else from EPSILON to get the first kill. Smooya had been opening things up very often, but it's Cosme this time around. And speaking of Smooya, he's gone aggressive towards A again. QB Fire, however, grouped up around B, so they're going to go for the push elsewhere. And with Smooya having peeked out aggressively, he feels confident enough to think about the rotate back, but Waterfalls gets that shot up close despite taking the dink. Surreal is out in the open, but this off angle works wonderfully. He gets himself 3 kills. Great play from Surreal, and again, he's been a sort of quiet, consistent performer for EPSILON, stepping up when needed. And now he's up there with Smooya, the 2 UK boys leading the way for EPSILON and resetting QB Fire's economy.
Yeah, just a great play there by EPSILON, able to take themselves around and reset. As I said, QB Fire, if they got reset in that round, they'd be in a terrible position. And you can see now because of that, they will have to buy into this one. And the best really that they're able to get out of that is just one AK and a UMP with some pistols to back that up alongside a bit of utility. And right now, EPSILON, if they take this one, they will force the eco. Likely going to be able to reach their way towards double digits already on this first half. And could get even worse for QB Fire. They just need to try and get themselves back into this game now. This is the one we said EPSILON needed, though, this map, as a reminder, as they haven't really played Train before. So right now in this round, QB Fire will be trying to move down in towards the drop room. Looks like an A split is going to be on the table. But Surreal, once again, he steps up and just shuts this down. We mentioned he's the third star really on this lineup, but he has those games where he can just take it completely over, and he's doing so right now. But then again, it's going to come back in fire QB Fire, back in favor of QB Fire. Apologies, I keep making that mistake. But it's a good find now as they get themselves control of this A bomb site, and they should be able to get the bomb plant with ease.
And down goes the bomb in the 3v3, and Boomich spots the flank. Surreal dropped out of the round, and Robin and Cosme in 2v3 retake. I'd have thought they might have wanted to go for this one, but they feel like they've lost too much over towards A, so they're just going to concede this round. A round that QB Fire, I don't think, would have expected to win a lot of the time, but there we go. They get it done with that force, and this was really a must-win round for QB Fire at this point. They didn't have any money in the bank, and this was, I mean, not a great force for them, but they got it to work. That's the main thing. So they can now put in some work, try and get some rounds together. Looks like they should get to save the 3 guns, and QB Fire certainly need to focus on their economy at this point, not damaging EPSILON's, because EPSILON have a lot of cash. So there we go, the guns are saved, and maybe QB Fire can work their way back into this half now.
Yeah, there's certainly a good chance if they take this round, then I think EPSILON will only be able to afford to buy up one more time. That'll allow QB Fire likely to get up towards 5 rounds, so, or maybe even 6. So the next couple of rounds for them are going to be important for QB Fire. Still in the situation where right now, if they were to lose this one, they'll be instantly reset once again, and they just need to start chaining some rounds together. They need to get a bit of more consistent performance on this T side, as of course, if the CTs are able to keep control of that economy, just keep resetting it for the terrorist side, it's just not a good position. Right now though, QB Fire, looks like they will slow this one down. They're just going to be putting a lot of presence outside of A, and I guess this is maybe to try and counteract this aggression we've seen so far, especially from Smooya with this off. This time he's changed it up. He's aware perhaps he may be getting a little bit too readable. He will instead decide to stick around on towards long. The smoke goes down to maybe try and bait him out into the open, and he gets the timing correct. Takes down quick, and he's easily able to fall back off as the smoke is placed perfectly.
And it just seems like whenever Smooya's taking early fights, he's winning them consistently. It's never really been QB Fire being able to win these sort of opening engagements. maybe it'll be worth QB5 just grouping up at the start of a round, because quite often they're spreading out, they are just getting picked off, and it just doesn't seem to be working for them so far. EPSILON now, again with the man advantage, can afford to just hold a default setup. This is exactly what they've done so far. They've waited to get the first pick and then gone back passively, and it's worked so well for them. With 35 seconds left, QB5 will now be forced to make a play, and it looks like the bomb is going to go over towards B.
Yeah, Cosmin is in just such a solid position here. He should be able to find at least one or so. And Surreal, he's been stepping it up massively. He looks to try and continue doing so, and he is going to be able to shut down 2. The bomb also being dropped now below that broken wall means it's going to be a 2-on-4 with Cosmin in such an amazing position. Robin on the bomb site now. There we go, Cosmin. He finally goes ahead and decides to capitalize on that kill, and Robin closes it out onto Boomich. So it is going to be EPSILON once again resetting the economy of QB Fire, and I think we may be seeing another force, but Quick at least is going to be on a double eco. The rest of the players, if they wanted, they could eco this one and afford some form of a buy into the following.
Yeah, and honestly, QB Fire, I think a lot of the reason why they were dangerous was partly because of their aggression, but also partly because they had a fair few players that were very, very capable, that could compete with the best of them, and that's just not coming through here so far. They've just been fairly easily shut down by EPSILON. And into this 13th round, this is again kind of a must-win position. If they lose this round, they're already 10-3 behind and wouldn't have any money for the end of the half. So here we go, QB Fire again, just working their way over towards A. This time around, Smooya has gone much more passively with the AWP. Seems like maybe he knows that it's a weaker buy on the QB Fire side of things, but they do still have a few nades which could counteract Smooya's AWP in the round if they are well placed. And again, it's just this same default for EPSILON.
Yeah, so far QB Fire, not really much they've been doing has worked out. I'd say those faster rounds have maybe had a bit more success, but even then that was quite inconsistent. And there we go, Jumper going to get spotted out over on B long. Right now the bomb is just going to be back in the B halls as they are able to get themselves some control towards the drop room, meaning that this should be retrieved quite soon, and we are going to be looking towards an A split, it seems. But nice flash goes through. There is going to be Jack in position to take himself down at least one, but he will end up falling, as it is going to be Boomich to return it. And now it's just going to be up to Smooya on the bomb site with this op, and look how aggressive he's getting. He's going to get caught off guard. Waterfalls even gets himself an off now to work with, as this eco is going quite well so far for QB Fire, and especially with Felina being able to find Cosmin in towards Connector. To kill Cosmin should probably be finding 9 out of 10 times, and it just wasn't his time, I guess. Robin at least trades it, but still a 2-on-3 retake now going to be looking to come in by Robin and Surreal, and I don't know how likely that is.
Yeah, we saw them save from a 2v3 retake previously. This time around, though, EPSILON probably already have enough money to buy for the rest of the half. So I wouldn't mind them going for this one, but at the same time, I could also understand the save. I think either option is okay, but considering we're heading into the 14th round and they have a fair amount of cash in the bank, I'd have preferred them to go for it. However, EPSILON decide to just hold on to what they can. So, again, QB Fire, I think, are going to lose the round. I mean, I don't know where Robin's going. He was trying to get the defuse. Very, very ambitious, and not going to work out this time. I guess he can just afford to throw away that gun because, as I was saying, EPSILON should have enough cash still for the rest of the half. So not a massive issue. Just goes for the crazy play, doesn't work out. And QB Fire, they're just about hanging on, but it's certainly still not been convincing from them.
If they can get themselves up to 6, I think they'll actually be fairly happy with the half that they're able to get. Of course, as mentioned before, it's not really a map that's too biased towards either side. Some people maybe would consider slightly biased towards the T side, but by no means does that mean they aren't able to get that solid lockdown on the CT side like what we've seen from EPSILON early on to this half. Right now, QB4 getting themselves into a pretty decent position if they can chain a couple more rounds and end this one out 9-6. But there we go, Surreal somehow finds that kill on the Jumpka, who comes out through the smoke. Smooya in a pretty strange position with the AWP. I think they may have spotted him out, and he could be now stuck in towards this position. He does end up falling, but still, EPSILON going to be finding most of the kills, and Robin just spamming through the smoke. They line up for him. They keep going into that exact position. He takes them with ease, and Surreal has been just playing like an absolute monster so far this game. I think Surreal actually has been just showing such a great performance since coming back to Europe. I don't really think he showed any of this over in Complexity, and I guess that may have just been about the roles, etc. But I think he may even actually be becoming the second star of this team. Cosmin has been, in my opinion, a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, and in Complexity, it did kind of feel like Surreal never really found his spot. I think that's fair to say. I remember he for a period of time, he was like AWPing quite a lot for the team. He never really seemed too confident being that sort of main AWPer. Then he switched up a lot of the time. It just felt like then maybe they didn't play around him enough. Either way, Sack's going to hold towards mid, spots a couple of players, could be in trouble, but he gets the double spray down. I was going to say the AK was looking for the trade, but Sack manages to take both frags early on. The smoke also deployed, a rotate has come through. I will say the one thing about EPSILON is that I do feel like they can be a streaky team, especially when you have some aggressive players. If Smooya makes some mistakes on the T side, there could still be a chance for QB to come back into it. But if they're only going to get 4 rounds on the board, it will be a long comeback. And that looks likely as they are in a 3-on-5. And, well, Robin gets flashed in. He's going to spray them both down. A little bit sloppy on the second, but it will be the 11th.
Yeah, just a good performance by EPSILON. As I said, QB Fire, I think they wanted to get up to 6 there at least to be happy with that half. And I don't think 4 definitely could be enough, especially if they take this pistol, but it doesn't really give them a lot of room to work with. If we're going to see EPSILON being able to claim this pistol, which so far they've been pretty good at. Of course, they didn't take the previous one, which is even another pointer to point out. QB Fire only been able to take 3 gun rounds. Even with winning the pistol, they only ended up at 4 at the end of the half. So I just think QB Fire, if they lose this pistol, it's probably going to be too much for them to handle.
Yeah, here we go into the second half. And we'll get to see the buys. Remember, EPSILON on their CT side went for 5 sets of Kevlar, no defuse kit. However, this time around they decide they want some utility. And again, the P250 dropped over towards Smooya. We've seen this a couple of times from EPSILON. They feel confident in his ability to make the plays. And EPSILON, they are not going to let up here. They're going straight towards this A site. Rush A, no stop is the call. And Paulina's going to try and spot them out. Gets 1 kill at the very least. In the meantime, the fight towards A long is awkward. Still no kills coming through. Finally, Sack finishes him off. Waterfalls is going to get a kill back though. So it's still a 3v3 as the bomb goes down.
Yeah, nice shot there by Waterfall's going to be able to at least return that one, but Robin, nice find, able to trade that one out successfully, and Quick is extremely low, so Boomich is going to be the man that has to try and get the heavy lifting done in the remainder of this round. And he does start that off strong, at least by finding the opening headshot. Still Cosmin on long, and he's going to be able to connect another. That's going to be all up to Robin now. No Kevlar to work with. Aim punch will be a factor, and he's been pushed down by 2 CTs at the moment. The time it's beginning to tick away. Currently no defuse kit in their possession. Robin finds one, but he will be traded out. Boomich, he's going to be able to have this defuse, I believe, with at least a couple of seconds to spare. So nice retake there by the QB Fire guys.
Yeah, Boomich, plenty of time. Had about 5 seconds to spare there. I've got the music on, I know. And there we go. QB Fire keep themselves in with a shot. EPSILON, though, I mean, they still took that round very close. And with the bomb plant, they can pile on the pressure in the next round. Because this one, they will just go for the eco to ensure they have the buy into the 18th round. So just 5 P250s, 1 flashbang. And by the looks of things, the team are going to stick together. Cosmin will group up with them. And again, they're going to try and see if they can get the A play to work. Jimka and Boomich here holding towards the A site. So Boomich has one of the rifles, but the M4A1S isn't the best against a pistol rush towards you. So that could be a slight issue if he misses some shots.
Yeah, certainly. He's going to be able to spot them out early on, though. Robin, he receives a small bit of damage, and some info is now being given to the CT side to allow for them to get a proper setup now to try and hold this one down. Jump kit spots out another player there towards middle and even gets a small amount of damage onto Surreal, but it looks like the T's are just going to try and group up and overwhelm this player now, and a nicely placed Molotov is going to actually force Surreal out into the open, and it's all the kills going in favour of QB Fire. Only going to be Chak now that remains, and he's not going to be able to find anything either, as it's a very good round there by QB Fire, winning so extremely cleanly, and that's what they want now. They want to build up their economy because they have this long road ahead to actually try and get the comeback. But EPSILON, this is when they get the buyout. They definitely won't be able to afford an op, rather. They are just going to be working with the 5 rifles and very limited utility. So QB Fire coming into this one probably going to be favoured to take this, unless EPSILON are able to hit some nice shots.
Yeah, it's Jimka with the AWP, surprisingly enough, not going into the hand of Waterfalls, and Jimka is going to get it done early. That peek out towards mid will pick off Robin. And I was kind of expecting EPSILON, with the lack of utility, to maybe just stick together to start the round and potentially even go for a fast push. But they decided to spread out, and that cost them. The AWP manages to find a long-range fight. In the meantime, I don't think Surreal has spotted Waterfalls crossing on the aggression towards B-Plat, but now he falls back, so it's not an issue. And EPSILON, after losing the first player, will now group up for the push.
Yeah, they are just going to go ahead and try and actually be able to outnumber the opponents on the bomb site. They will be making their 4 players all head in the direction of the B bomb site. We're currently 3-2 away, with some nice info rather being found there, along with some great damage from that grenade. So EPSILON not really looking so good so far into this round. They haven't been able to find anything. All they found was a HE directly into all 4 of their players. You can see because of that they have all been tagged up. Smooya ensuring that there's no flanks coming in, and it looks like they could even try and split towards this A bomb site right now, as drop control is going to be coming down. Smooya making his way back towards middle, and Boomich for now happy enough with just giving up this position, and actually there seems to be a bit of a fake to try and get the rotators a little bit further away from that connector position. Smooya now, he's going to need to try and get this opening kill and do so fast before the rotates come in to allow this bomb to try and actually get on towards the bomb site. And you can see QB Fire, they're definitely aware now. 4 players are all going to be trying to get into position. Duo's already been on the bomb site, and 18 seconds now remaining, cutting it a bit closer for the EPSILON side. Is Chak eventually going to chime in with 1, but still mostly in favour of the CT side, and Quick from above going to be able to take down 1 and a second with the FAMAS. And now there's no time anymore, as Chak is going to get taken down by Jumpka.
Yeah, unfortunately for EPSILON there, they did just take a little bit too much time, it felt like, on going for that A push. Maybe if they'd have pushed 5 seconds sooner, they would have been able to get into position, especially because Jumka was holding back on towards the site with the AWP. He could have easily been overwhelmed, considering Smooya was already pushed up through A long. However, it wasn't meant to be. The rotate comes in, and a heavy rotate from QB Fire, which was to be expected at that point, to be honest. They spotted out that there wasn't anything towards B, so just a solid play from QB Fire, and just pistols for EPSILON. He goes in towards mid, but EPSILON are just hanging back to start things off. There's no real need for QB Fire to play aggressive. They will just play back towards the site. We'll get to see if EPSILON can get anything done with the pistols.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them take this a little bit faster, perhaps, but they have grouped up at least. They've just taken control over towards A. We see, I believe that Chak just going to be left lurking towards B to maybe try and get something done on the flank if his teammates are successful towards the A-bomb site. But right now the chances are looking quite slim, as 3 players are going to be awaiting. Boomich even takes an aggressive stance and takes down Robin, and he's allowed to fall back off for free. No one was close enough for EPSILON to actually try and get that trade. They had just begun to rotate back over towards B, I guess having a bit of raid on the position to the CT side, but not correctly enough, as it is going to be all the kills so far in favour of QB Fire. Waterfalls spots out Chak, going to be able to also see the other player who jumped into that corner, and Smooya, he's going to get burned alive. And it's all on Surreal now. 1 on 5. He's had a good game so far, but this is definitely too much to ask when he doesn't even have a weapon available other than that Deagle. And he will be finished off by Quick.
Yeah, very clean round for QB Fire. Exceptional stuff. They managed to not take a single point of damage. I know it was only up against the pistols, but still impressive. And here we go. Smooya has that AWP. Will he stay aggressive even without the Kevlar? That is the question on our minds. He wasn't, to be fair, massively aggressive on the CT side. It was mainly just him peeking towards mid early. You can see Smooya will decide to take things a little bit slower, holding the angle, but Jimka is going for the aggression himself. Ooh, that shot connects, but Robin just about survives. He will be counting his lucky stars that he survived on 11 HP. Does manage to fall back, but it's still damage against EPSILON to start the round.
Yeah, good start by QB Fire once again. They are just happy enough with falling back off. One problem is that they have actually left Boomich alone in towards danger. That could get a little bit scary, as he doesn't really have any support, and there's a lot of players for EPSILON right now grouped up in this position. 4 directly on long, or 3 directly on long, and also 1 holding for that mid-aggression. So even when he hears these footsteps, if he tries to push out through the door, there is a Cosmian, I believe, that is just going to be waiting for him. But right now, he is going to be getting sandwiched in on, pushed up close towards middle. Boomich, let's see if he's going to be able to get the timing correct here. He has multiple positions to try and watch, and Cosmian, great headshot there to open this one up. Almost got caught off guard with the flash out, but it doesn't matter. He hits that quick flick and puts the man advantage now in favour of EPSILON, and Smooya holding for the aggression, maybe able to find more, but Veline comes in successfully and takes down that rotator. But as mentioned before, Smooya was in a great position to try and open up this A bomb site, and he should be able to do so, as now QB Fire with a 1-man disadvantage. They're trying to just get in before the bomb even gets towards the site. They may be successful, as at least 1 kill is found by Veline, but it doesn't seem to be enough, as it's all onto Waterfalls now in a 1 on 3, and he will be found just as the smoke begins to dissipate.
And again, I think it's probably worth pointing out that it seems like QB Fire were going with Jimka having the AWP rather than Waterfalls, who's generally the primary AWPer. However, now that will be changed. Waterfalls picks up the AWP alongside Jimka. And, well, considering EPSILON just won the round, they are still forced down to 1 UMP. Not a massive deal. Sack will be, I'm sure, okay with that weapon in hand. And here we go. 2 Orcs for QB Fire. Potentially the chance for an opening kill as Waterfalls goes for the peak. The smoke was up, so no chances there. In the meantime, EPSILON have a couple of players out towards A. They might look to gain ground early on. Boomich is currently in that boost spot towards A. You only see this position almost sort of once a half in general. He's boosted up in that position near A long, where you're up out in the open. But it is worth that risk. Sometimes that off angle can work out. And again, a very similar position for both AWPers in this round as the same as the previous one, where Smooya won this fight last time. Let's see if it works for him again. Smooya goes for the peak, lands the shot, but not quite the kill. In the meantime, Paulina elsewhere will get that opening towards drop. Again, it's T-Sack picked off in that position. Sorry, Sack picked off in that position. And still 50 seconds left for EPSILON.
Yeah, they found that early damage, but so far, Jack over towards drop hasn't really had any success going for this lurk QB Fire. Playing it very smart. They've just been setting up for the retakes, using those flashes to reclaim it once the player is he's kind of feeling a little bit more secure once he's got that control and isn't expecting that peak to come in. And it's worked so far, but then again, Waterfalls right now just posted up on this position with the op. Could get dangerous for EPSILON as they look to try and make their way up B long, but Robin, he takes down Valina in the drop room, and Waterfalls even takes some damage in the process. So both of his, rather 2 of these players now, both of the uppers, down to extremely low HP. Waterfalls though, still connects the shot, gets one, posts back up towards the drop room, and Robin, he gets to make a move. It could be the correct decision as he is able to find the flanker, jumps and falls. Boomich eventually returns it, so a 2-on-2 now with both of these players for EPSILON just being so low, and Robin, they know his position, he gets one. Boomich now, without the defuse kit, is just going to tap the bomb, and it baits Robin into the open. Perfect play, as it is going to be QB Fire picking themselves up a 9th round, and also being able to reset the economy of EPSILON. I think they may be able to scrape a bye together, but it's not going to be great.
Yeah, this could be a very, very intense first map now. Remember, this was EPSILON's map pick. They had a huge lead in the first half. They were 11-4 up. And yet, as soon as they lost the pistol round, it's started to go against them. And, oh, wow, they've gone for the force buy. This is not something I expected. They still have a 3-round lead, remember. So I don't think this was really that necessary. They only get the 3 rifles, with Cosmine having a Galil. And here we go. The boost's going to come up in towards drop. Waterfalls has the AWP in play. I don't think he's going to get the chance for the opening pick, though, because EPSILON are going to spread out across the map. I think this may just be a reaction because their slow rounds haven't been working. They're going to try and go for a faster paced play out towards A. Let's see how it works for them.
Yeah, already going to be a rotate coming in by QB Fire, though. Cosmine will at least trade that one out, and actually Robin in a good position to take down Jumpka will be able to do so. Only problem is these players on the EPSILON side have taken a lot of damage in the process, but if you're able to keep finding headshots like Robin is, it may still go in their favour. Nice trade to come in once again by the CT side, but Cosmine with the spray down doesn't quite commit to it in the end. He does have to reset it, and he's able to find that kill onto Quick. And you question the force buy. I questioned the force buy as well in my head. I didn't get to say it, but it ends up working out in the end, so what can you say?
Well, I guess this is the upside to winning the force buy. If you do win it, you put QB Fire down into an awful position. 2 UMPs, 3 pistols, and, well, QB Fire have their backs against the wall. They're going to have to dodge away from a few more punches as well, because EPSILON have a much better buy for this round. And by the looks of things, EPSILON might just go for a fast-paced play again. It worked in the last round for them, so they're just going to go for it out towards B plat. Fair few players ready to push forwards, but Waterfalls is up close. Fick also here with the UMP, going to play a close range position. The push comes straight through the smoke. Sack is going to get that first entry. They just flash through and it works quite well for them. Trades go the way of EPSILON, and that is all they needed. They have the site, they have another kill, and EPSILON are going to get their 14th.
Yeah, good round by EPSILON. Only up against the force buy, of course. That's going to, once again, break the economy of QB Fire. They invested into this one, so in the upcoming it likely will be an eco, and that means they're likely going to be conceding map point unless they want to go for a force buy once again and try and return what EPSILON were able to do in the previous round. But it's going to be difficult. But yeah, while we have the moment, while we do see just one player alive for the CT side, that is Jumpkin. Maybe able to get a couple of extra frags here, so we'll keep a bit of focus on it. But as you can see, EPSILON not wanting to lose any more weapons, they will begin to fall off. So while we have a moment of time, I just want to go ahead and tell everyone that there is currently being a giveaway done for subscribers of this channel. There will be a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested that will be given away on Sunday after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship #2. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself in with a chance to get that drop, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can subscribe with any of the tiers. And of course, they also do help support for future content being brought to you guys.
And also quickly, just a thanks for so many people tuning in. Like, we've got 9,000 viewers right now, which I think is the highest at any point of these group stages. So massive shout out to you guys. And let's see if QB Fire can keep themselves in with a chance here, because they only have the one AK in play. Jimka is going to have to be the hero unless the pistols can get the job done. Cosmin is currently out towards B plat. He could be in trouble if the pistols push towards him. He's going to have to be a little careful that he doesn't lose that AK, because his teammates are elsewhere. Looks like the bomb should go out towards A, though, and with the stack being towards B, that's going to work quite well. The AK, however, is dropped, so Cosmin will give that one up. And Jimka might be able to rotate in time here.
Yeah, he may actually be able to get into a decent position. He jumps out towards the van. It seems like they are aware of this, Robin. He shuts them down. It's costly in terms of the HP, but he's able to win out the important fight. That means only Boomich and Valina are going to remain now. Boomich likely going to try and save that AK, I would say, because without a defuse kit, without Kevlar and either of his players, a 2 versus 4 retake on the A-bomb site is almost completely unlikely. So he is just going to indeed try and carry this over. At least have a decent buy now in the following round, because even though they will have enough to buy the rifles no matter what, saving over that AK means that he can get that extra utility to work with, which on Cobblestone, that's quite important. The smokes especially to hold off those choke points, the flashes to help with the retakes, and yeah, it's just going to be needed.
Yeah, so here is the 15th round on the board for EPSILON, just one away from closing out this first map. Looks like Volina is looking to see if he can find a gun. I don't think he's going to get one. He might even die to the bomb here. No, Volina will be alive. I'm not sure there's a rifle for him to recover, though. So just going to be Boomich saving the one AK. However, it will still, of course, have to be a 4-spy. It's now or never for QB Fire in this first map. Remember, this is EPSILON's map pick, so certainly still every chance for them heading into Train, especially as we haven't seen EPSILON play Train with this lineup yet. But let's see how it goes. Round 25, full buy for both teams, and QB Fire. Again, every round is must-win for them at this point, and Jimka will get that first kill. Smooya tried to go aggressive, and Surreal was attempting to back him up, but that's a 2-man advantage for QB Fire early on. That's exactly what they would have wanted.
Yeah, great start. Jumpka just holding such a tight angle. They're able to take down Smooya. That could have been dangerous up against the op, but it does end up working in his favour. The spray was just on point, and now it's going to be up to Valina rather to try and ensure that they keep this advantage. But he does fall. Luckily enough, it will still be a 4-on-3, and damage has been done to Cosmin. But that gives a bit of a... That gives the option for some map control, I guess, for EPSILON. They could, if they wanted to put one player down into the drop room, it's likely that they won't have another player in this position, so it would allow them then to try and split towards the bomb sites. But it looks like instead they are just going to try and regroup, try and take over the A-bomb site instead together, where there is going to be currently Jumpka with that up, along with Boomich, and they've had a good game so far, but both of these, Jumpka hasn't really showed up as much as we would have expected, but now is the time for him to do so. He's in a good position, he's up on balcony, and it's actually Boomich to get the opening, and Jumpka instantly returns one onto Cosmin also, as it's just going to be Chak now that remains, and he's left over on the ramp, and I think this is almost impossible to bomb down behind wood. Going to be extremely difficult to try and retrieve, especially with 3 players now set up to just hold this one down. And as you can see, Boomich, he will find that final kill, and QB Fire getting themselves up to double digits. 5 more rounds in a row will still be needed for overtime. EPSILON still able to buy into this one, so there is still a long road ahead, but they keep themselves alive, at least for the moment.
Yeah, and again, it's Jimka finding quite a lot of success on towards that AWP, but I'm still somewhat surprised that Waterfalls isn't picking it up at any point, really, only when they're going for the 2 AWPs on their side. I think it's because they want Jimka playing towards A with the AWP in hand, and he gets mollied out early on. That's a lot of damage done to Jimka, down to 42 HP at the start of the round. As you were saying, it's still the buy for EPSILON, although they don't have too many nades left. They've used a couple of them early, and they didn't have a full arsenal to start with. So not exactly great for them if they want to go for an execute. But with how EPSILON have been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised to just see Smooya try and see if he can get an opening pick and then just work off of that. And for the time being, he is currently with his teammates out towards A long. Either way, no real moves being made just yet. The smoke comes in, but there is a little gap here. Smooya's trying to exploit it, but you can see QB Fire playing fairly far back, so nothing going to be happening just yet, except for EPSILON just lining up around this A site.
Yeah, it looks like this will eventually be the destination they try and go towards, but there's still a bit of time left. They're hoping maybe some mistakes will be made. Smooya just hoping to be able to find a pick with this op, and if he peeks out further, he could be in a pretty awkward position. We see Jumpka going to be playing up on top of the bomb site. We see he's covered currently by Velina, so they have the op even watching down towards water, and that's currently where the bomb's going to be going. There you go, Jumpka opens it up, able to find the opening kill. Smooya, just as he peeks out, Velina does fall back off that angle that he had a perfect position from. But now the trades do come in. Robin, he's been stepping it up so far on the T side, and Smooya, if he finds this kill on the site, it will be crucial and it will allow them to take control. He will get one. Up on the balcony now also, he spots out another, but quick. He's somehow able to escape at least for a couple of seconds before Cosmian is going to finish him off, and now it's going to be all on the waterfalls on the flank, and it's just not going to work out. Cosmian shuts that one down, and EPSILON are going to be victorious in the first map of this series. We will now throw it back to the analyst desk to discuss this game.
There you have it, ladies and gents. EPSILON winning their map 16-10 after QBF started to swing a couple of rounds in a row, but it just wasn't enough to close out the map or even get to that overtime. Congrats once again to EPSILON. They're now one map away of that final of Group D to be played against Sprout. So a lot to fight for, especially for QBF now after being one map down. And good thing for them is that they are going for their map pick train, so they can bounce back and bring this to a third map. But overall, Waterfall's really underwhelming game at the start. I think he was 0-7 at one point. He didn't really hit his shots. He wanted to go for some crazy aggressive AW picks towards B platform, but almost every time got naded and got killed immediately. Surreal was playing that broken wall and he was broken. No pun intended. But yeah, of course, looking at how both of these teams approach the map, you can see that EPSILON actually practiced this and they know how to play their city side. Their rotations were on point, setups, they had a couple of different setups as well. So overall, great map for EPSILON. Danny, what can we take out of this? What was wrong for QBF at the beginning?
Yeah, definitely whole first half. I mean, at the end of the first half, you had Balbina with 14 frags, and the rest of his teammates, 3 of them had 4 frags, 1 had 3, so 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Quick maths. Yeah, I mean, 15 kills for 4 guys and Balbina with 14. It's quite depressing, but still, EPSILON played quite unpredictably, and I remember QBF, whenever they wanted to go to B side, they got shut down immediately. Never had the chance to get a plant, even maybe once, but whenever they went to A side, they planted the bomb, but still it wasn't enough to close the game.
Yeah, Hogar, looking at Smooya, how he played that AWP, at one point I saw basically no respect given towards QBF when he pushed B plateau with AWP, trying to get a couple of more frags through smoke. But unfortunately for him, he got flashed and killed almost immediately. I think that was first frag actually for Waterfalls in the round. But all in all, like when you're winning with such a big margin and you're on your city side of Cobble, you definitely have a lot on your shoulders when you come back to CT as QBF and need to bring back 11-4 half in your favor this time.
Yeah, I want to go back on the T half. They really had no chance because they were throwing pop flashes on over the B, over the broken wall, and the players didn't come out in the same time with the flashes. I mean, they were late 1-2 seconds. I mean, why? I mean, is there miscommunication, or they were like just, we will lose maybe cable, we were gonna win on train or Cobble on our Marpeak.
I'll remind you every time.
In Inferno, just keep reminding me. And I mean, they didn't have any chance to win. I mean, you must be coordinated with your team, with your flashes, with your. I mean, if the player is playing broken wall, you must trade frags. He cannot kill one by one. I mean, he was getting 3 kills per round, at least 2 or 3 times. I mean, it's And he didn't swap any positions. He was playing all the time the same position. I mean, you must figure that out. I mean, they're really not playing like they have status of legends, right? It's
Yeah,
really bad.
and also I think 2 of 4 rounds they QBF won on T side were eco rounds or forced by rounds that Epsilon lost, and this could have been like 13-2 half if they didn't lose those.
Yeah.
But again, even 11-4, it's quite big of a margin on CT side, especially on Cobble. But once again, congrats, of course, to Epsilon. They are now 1 map away of that final of Group D. Second map of the day of this best of 3 will be Train, so make sure to tune in. We are going for a short commercial break. Of course, before we go to a break, just to remind you that that you should visit farmskins.com. They have winter sales going on, 90% off of some cases, so you can get yourself a nice little skin in this cold winter. Of course, you can maybe get a chicken. If you saw that commercial with chicken shooting with Dragon Lore, maybe you're the chicken, lucky chicken. Who knows? Of course, we are going for a break. When we come back, we are going into analysis of the second map between EPSILON and QBF. So make sure to tune in. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Farmskins Championship Season 2, also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. 16 teams fighting their way through GSL format group stage to fight for that one slot that will bring them to IEM. Of course, after they win in group stage, they go to playoff, where 4 invited teams are waiting them in single elimination best-of-3 bracket. Also to note that we currently have subscriber giveaway going on eFrag TV, so make sure to subscribe and you have chance to win Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested. So good luck, of course, to all of you, together with me in studio, Danny and Hogar, once again for the second map of this best-of-3 duel between EPSILON and QBF. Second map is Train. We saw QBF yesterday against Sprout. They had really good performance. They won that map. That's the only map they won in best-of-3 against them. So some positive stuff, or the light at the end of the tunnel for QBF if they want to stay in this qualifier after, let's say, underwhelming performance on Cobble. So Hogar, what do you think? Can QBF bounce back now on their map pick and maybe start strong, start city side, because that side is their better side right now?
Depends. We didn't see EPSILON on the Train. I don't know how they played. Maybe they left in the pool because they didn't have time to prepare all maps, and QBF knows that. Maybe because of that they pick it up, and I mean they performed really good. They won last time. So as you said, I mean, it's their map pick. I don't think they're too crushed because of cobblestone. Ah, now you forgot to correct me. I mean, they took 10 rounds on the cobblestone, right? It's not such a bad result. I mean, yes, it is. When you look at first half, you took only 4 rounds on the T side, but you were able to bounce back and show your teeth to the enemies. So I think they're not mentally down. I mean, they still have that back side in their heads, like we are legends, we can win this. So I mean, they can take this one.
Yeah, almost a legendary comeback against Mousesports on Train happened as well. So Danny, what do you think? What's the maybe positive side for EPSILON on this map?
Well, definitely because Surreal, Cosmin and Smuja played like really good. The Surreal was the biggest threat on B side on Cobblestone against Quantum Bellator Fire. But if they performed like on previous map again, they shouldn't be having problems against QBF. But still, I don't know how are they playing on Train. It's one of the better maps, I would say, for QBF. We've seen them how they played against Mousesports. Yesterday they won a game 16-13 against Sprout. But still, I remember QBF tried double AWP setup on Cobblestone. Waterfalls and Jimka played AWPs, but both of them were missing some, like, let's say, easy shots. But still, Train is different map, and AWP players, I mean, they mean a lot to the team. And if they start hitting shots, maybe Quantum Bellator Fire will take this one.
Yeah, and Waterfalls there at the end of the game, or maybe even in the middle of the game, didn't even pick that AWP up. Maybe confidence going down because he didn't hit his shots in the first half, and he didn't want to miss them again, just use the rifle instead. So we'll see. Maybe Waterfalls plays a lot better now on Train. He needs to, because this is a really good map for him. We saw what he can do on T side, even with AWP, even though it's not preferable side for Quantum Bellator Fire. But yeah, let's start with predictions. We are soon ready to go live, and we can start with our predictions.
Okay, 16-12 EPSILON.
Okay. You have to go with QBF because you said 12.
Yeah, I wouldn't change my mind either way, so I would say QBF 16-7.
You're already down, you know?
Yeah, I know. But I can still, like, guess the right score, right?
Yeah, 16-11.
7.
Oh, 16-7.
Yeah.
QBF.
Yeah.
You said 16.
12, I think.
I think?
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down, man. Wait.
16-12. Yeah, you just write it down, because we are soon ready to go live. And boys, that will bring you this action of this best of 3 second map of this best of 3 are Dean and Hoka. So take it away.
Alright guys, welcome. We are going to be getting live into the knife round of the second map of this series, and it should be a good one coming up. We saw EPSILON on the previous one, been able to etch it out, I believe it was 16-10. But now QB Fire on Train, we haven't really seen much from EPSILON from on the Train map, so QB Fire, I'd probably say they are favourites slightly into this one. And what do you think, Hoka?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the dynamics of the AWPers again. Particularly, as we were saying, Smooya like to go aggressive quite often. There are quite a few options for that, especially on the CT side of Train. Whereas on the QB Fire side of things, we saw Jimka picking up the AWP way more often than Waterfalls. And that might be in part due to his poor form recently, especially in this qualifier. Waterfalls has certainly been struggling. So, yeah, I think QB Fire, they could have some issues here, depending on how they sort of just how they show up individually. But at the same time, Train is generally a really good map for them. They've actually won Train the last 8 times they played it, including that win over Mouse Sports, a win over Sprout in this qualifier. So I still feel like QB5 should be able to close it out, but they're going to have some of their players step up.
Oh yeah, they're definitely lacking on the op presence. We mentioned Waterfalls. Usually that primary opper, it seems like Jumpka was taking over that role, and he didn't really put up a great performance with it either. And when they brought out that secondary op onto Waterfalls also, it wasn't really a massive improvement. So I don't know, the op was definitely lacking. Smooya was a player who was just so confident throughout that entire game, or at least on the CT side. I believe he did fall off a bit on the T side, and it was more Robin and Cosmian that finally begun to step it up, which is another positive for EPSILON. It's not just going to be one of these players that steps it up, it's going to be swapping from game to game, and that makes it maybe a little bit harder to deal with.
Yeah, we are going to be heading underway, though, straight into the game, sorry, and QB Fire do have themselves the kit and the CT side start. Lena going to pick up the kit and the smoke. In the meantime, Sak has bought a smoke and 2 flashes, and he's already thrown the smoke out. And EPSILON is going to come straight through Ivy. Push comes in, and Smooya will claim 1 scout before the trade comes out. Waterfalls is still on the site, and he's going to get that quick kill, dropping the bomb down. So it goes quickly into a 3v3, but Cosmin is going for the big rotation. This should be a kill in the back. And there it will be. Cosmin gets an easy double dink to give EPSILON the man advantage, although they do still need to get the bomb.
Yeah, they're going to need to try and retrieve it, and right now both of the CTs, they do have view onto it, but they're not anymore. Surreal successfully able to retrieve that one, and it looks like the CTs right now just want to get a move on. They want to try and push in immediately. They attempted to at least deny the bomb plant, didn't really work out, and you can see Waterfalls as the last man standing will end up dropping the Cosmian. So EPSILON taking themselves the pistol into this second map. We said we haven't really seen them play Train, so that's probably something they would have wanted to have started off with. Get themselves those couple easy rounds as long as they're able to actually withstand these pistols and the force by the scout now coming in from QB Fire.
Yeah, Waterfall's going to pick that one up. The rest of the team just going for pistols. They have fully invested though, so that's somewhat surprising to be honest. I thought QB Fire would keep 1 player on a low buy, try and get that AWP as soon as possible. Boomich, however, has gone up close in towards Popdog. Balloon has also pushed out through Ivy, so they're playing a couple of close-range positions, with Waterfalls playing further back with that scout. However, EPSILON won't give them any fights early on, and Smooya now will spot Boomich in the back. He's taken down low. There's no nades left, no mollies left after this one fades, so that won't be an issue, but Boomich is going to jump to his death. He's the first man to fall, although Waterfalls at long range. Ooh, gets that headshot with the scout. Could have the chance to do more, but he just falls back, giving his team a 4v4.
Yeah, great damage done by Waterfalls, getting that 1 kill and also attacking down Cosmian. And there we go, it's going to be Valina to find Smooya. This round looking a little bit awkward now for EPSILON, as a couple of players being tagged up means Waterfalls basically has an op into his hands if he is going to be facing off against either of Robin or Cosmian. As right now EPSILON, they have the bomb out towards A, but they haven't really got a chance to try and plant it yet, and Waterfalls doesn't connect the shot. He's going to be getting chased down, but he finishes off Cosmian with a great shot. And now Robin and just Jack left to try and clutch this one out, and it's going to be difficult, especially with so many good positions right now for the CT side. Even Valina coming in on the flank. Quick doesn't deny the bomb plant, but he will be able to find the kill. And Robin now, I think he's given up on this one. He's already beginning to back up through Popdog and looking to try and save this AK.
Yeah, whenever your health is lower than the amount of players you're trying to kill off, you probably should save. And Robin will follow that rule. Only 3 HP, 4 players to deal with, just not going to happen. And so QB Fire managed to win that force buy. That's actually a really great round win for them early on. Being able to build up the money on the CT side is quite important to get those AWPs quickly. And, well, QB Fire there, it was in part thanks to Waterfalls with that scout. He did a lot of damage. So it'll be good to see him getting some form early on. And if he could have a good map with the AWP, that could absolutely make the difference. Because, as I was saying, he has been lackluster in this qualifier so far. So if he steps up, I think that pushes QB Fire over the edge. But nonetheless, Robin with that AK is still going to try and see if he can find an entry. Currently in towards Brown Halls. They might go towards the B site, but QB Fire do have 2 players committed there. You don't see every team go for 2 players fully on the B site, but QB Fire want to make sure they lock it down. And, oh, Smooya, I thought was going to go down the ladder, but baits us out, goes back up, and now they're going to line up the drop. All that came in from Boomich, so he will stay safe, and still no kills.
Yeah, perfectly timed smoke actually there, allowing for Boomich to just fall back off for free. So EPSILON, they were looking to just try and get the opening kill. They were hoping to be able to get something in Pop Dog and maybe retrieve another weapon. It seems like with that not being successful, they will just group up and try and take over this B bomb site. Decent chance if they can get both of these kills to at least get the bomb plant. But actually trying to fight off these 2 initial players is going to be still quite difficult, especially with both of these having rifles to use. But Surreal, the first out of heaven, is actually going to be able to take down one. This could get dangerous. Robin, he's able to find quick, as now a 4-on-3 with Boomich on the fast flank. To get this kill, he could be turning it around back in favour of his team, and he is going to be successful. And Waterfalls to spray. It's not on point for sure, as he isn't able to find that one. But Robin takes down Boomich on the flank. Smooya steps it up by taking down Waterfalls. And now it's all onto Valina, as he's going to be left in a 1-on-3, and he has been spotted out. Smooya into the fight, perhaps not necessary. Here's a bit of a chance now for Valina to try and make his way back into this round, but it's not going to be enough. Surreal, he's able to close that one out with the P250. He started it off, and he finished it with that pistol. And it is going to be EPSILON instantly returning the favour as QB Fire now once again going to be on the force buy.
Well, a very back and forth start to this game. QB Fire, though, do have 1 rifle on towards Kvik, alongside the scout again for Waterfalls. The Smooya is going to go aggressive into a main. That was a little bit of a risk there, because sometimes you will see teams go for the nade stack into a main on this sort of a round, but oh, Surreal gets the spray through the smoke just as it blooms. He's going to get the opening kill, and Smooya nearly caught out, misses the shot, so the AWP is lost. I don't know if Boomich is quite going to be able to pick that one up. However, it's still back to a 4 versus 4, and EPSILON have kind of been pushed back there. You can see, though, Boomich not pushing out any further, doesn't want to give away his life. That's probably the right call, especially with Jimka being pushed up out towards Brown Halls. There's no need for him to take a risk, and, well, if they do go back towards B, Jimka will get that early information.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be successful. Jumka only has the 5-7 though, so ideally he wants to try and take a kill. Currently the closest rotator is going to be Quick, and he actually takes the correct time in there as he does rotate back now to try and give some support. Jumka even able to find a kill there on the Jack, going to be able to take him down. Weapon not really retrievable, and he will end up getting traded out. Still getting at least 1 kill now, allows for Quick to push up forward with the M4, and he'll be the man to get some work done. Finds one. Surreal now going to be using the up. Throwback to the complexity days. Steps it up and finds one, and Cosmian also going to be able to drop Boomich as it's all onto Waterfalls. You said this man, it's going to be important for him to step up throughout this map, and he's looking for the 1-on-2 as he just about misses the shot. Surreal, is he going to be able to close this one out? Waterfalls with the USP finds it. He bounces up off the ladder and he uses the movement to allow for that kill to come in. Surreal, just too hard to hit that moving opponent with the op apparently, as it will be once again QB Fire with the force bite coming out successful, and we will be back to an equal scoreline, 2-2.
Waterfalls, that was using the ladder there. That was really nicely done. The USP comes out. He manages to bait out the shot. And, well, I think it's time for a timeout, as do QB Fire, because this has been a crazy start to the game. After winning the pistol, EPSILON lose to a force. Then, I mean, it just goes back and forth, all the way back to a 2-2 scoreline. And, well, it's not going to let up, because EPSILON certainly still have money for the buy, especially considering they had the bomb planted. Smooya can even get an AWP, so it's not even really a force buy. It's nearly a full buy for the team. The only thing they're going to be lacking are the nades, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Sack go down to something like a UMP or a CZ. He can get a full set of nades in his hands. And it looks like we're still going to have a competitive game because QB5's buy also won't be perfect.
Yeah, this is actually going to be fairly similar for both teams. It's only really Chak that's lacking. He's going to go ahead and pick up the CZ so he can get some utility. So I think having that utility probably more valuable than that one extra A case, especially since Chak is actually, you have to get himself onto the board in this game. Let's see if they're going to be able to return this now. Smooya, he has the op, of course, which is going to be one of the most important things, but Waterfalls also, who so far we've only seen utilising that scout, is going to have the AWP available to try and get some work done with. So it'll be interesting now to see who's going to be able to win out this battle early on into this half with the AWP.
Yeah, Waterfalls, as you were saying, getting off to a good start. And Smooya's struggling a bit, especially in that previous round. So heading into the 5th, he'll be looking to improve his form. And as I was implying or suggesting earlier, Sak will get himself a CZ to ensure he at least has a full set of nades. And here we go into the 5th round. This time, QB Fire only have one player towards B to start things off. This is something you see from quite a few teams. However, it is somewhat vulnerable if a quick B play comes out. Smooya there did have the chance for the opening, but doesn't connect with the shot. And Kvik, in the meantime, has rotated towards B, as potentially could Boomich. He's looking in towards connector, but won't make that call. And it looks as though EPSILON are just going to line up this B push.
Yeah, it looks like they definitely are going to be going over towards B. We see Quick and Jumpkit in position. They still actually have a Molotov available also to try and delay this push once the utility goes down for EPSILON, and you can see now that has been used. So for at least the moment, EPSILON, they have been kind of hindered in their attempt to move forward. But you see now finally the smoke goes down, and I believe that's even a one-way. So you may be able to use that to try and find that pick over towards connector. But Quick, he steps it up and takes down one, and Smooya, as I said, one-way, perfect. To take down Boomich. Surreal also coming in onto Quick, so now it's going to be left in a 2-on-3 retake, and Smooya, he continues to step it up. The off is going to be successfully in this round, and Surreal also able to find that last kill, as it's going to be the two UK players to find a double kill each into that round, and EPSILON once again able to return the favour as QB Fire. Do you buy in this position? You have 3 players double eco, you've already been successful twice with the horse buy. What would you do?
Yeah, I think their money's so bad they should probably force. I don't think 1 eco gives them a good enough of a buy. They'd still have a very weak one. So they decide to go for the force buy, and there we go. Smooya gonna get that first pick. Maybe EPSILON will finally be able to put 2 rounds in a row together, because that force buy there meant that still it's been just back and forth throughout this whole game up until this point. And with the bomb going down, you would assume they should be able to close this out quite easily. Especially with a fair few nades left, they can slow down this retake tremendously. And with no defuse kit, I don't see QB Fire winning this. Robin, ooh, very snappy headshot. Eventually gets traded on, however, Jimka will go down, and there we go. Smooya closes out the round, and finally we put a bit of sense back into this game.
Yeah, finally some rounds have been chained together for one team. That will be by EPSILON, of course, as we just witnessed. And QB Fire now not really going to have enough to buy. They're averaging just about 2,000. We see Jumpka has a little bit extra. I don't know if that's going to allow for the op to come out in the following round. If it does, likely going to be a glass cannon. But yeah, EPSILON should be able to get themselves up to 5 now, as they are up against mostly a full eco other than a couple of P250s. And Smooya, he's going to continue on the form with his op, looking to try and increase his confidence even further. Stat those pads. Pad those stats, rather. Apologies, apparently that's really awkward to say. But yeah, Jumpka, last man standing, as you can see. This A-side cleaned up easily enough. Those pistols not able to hold down those long-range angles. And Jumpka just hoping to maybe get a kill or 2 out of this. And he will be checked by Cosmin as he falls, and EPSILON increase their lead now up to 3.
Yeah, here comes the buy for QB Fire, but it will be without an AWP. And to be honest, with how this game has played out so far, QB Fire haven't really been able to get those AWPs going early on. And that could be a real issue for them. If they don't win this round, they'll probably go down to 6 or 7 rounds conceded over to EPSILON without really being able to get that AWP out. And look at Smooya running straight out aggressively. He doesn't have any support, and he will go down first. And well, I was saying that QB Fire won't have the option to have the AWP. Clearly they do, because Smooya has just given one straight into the open arms of Kvik. And in the meantime, Boomich has gone aggressive. Cosmin also caught out. And it's the 2-star players for EPSILON already down and out of this round.
Yeah, Early on now, not a great start to this one for EPSILON. We saw some great opening kills coming in, but still a lot of time. It looks like Waterfalls wants to continue even facing over towards Ivy, and he's actually going to be able to take down Surreal. So a great find, as now QB Fire with a 3-man advantage in a good position to just close out this round and maybe even do so cleanly without losing any more weapons. As it is going to be the bomb over towards B. Should be joined soon by Chak, but I don't know what's going to be happening as Robin looks to back off also. May even try and get control towards Popdog, as looks like Jack's actually going to come out of a main. May catch the player off guard, and Popdog, he spots out the rifle. But still, there's a player above his position that may be able to just find that trade instantly no matter what happens. And Boomich just waiting for this drop down the ladder, but a great pop flash. It doesn't matter though. Boomich, he has his crosshair already perfectly aligned for that headshot. And once he hears the gunshots himself, he just spams away and gets it. As QB firing out, get themselves around onto the board finally. Once they get the guns out, they're successful. But EPSILON able to buy once again.
And that means that we will have 2 AWPs in play, 1 on either side. So we might finally get to see those AWPers have a duel against each other, or they might just try and get picks elsewhere. Let's see how it plays out. Smooya again in towards A main. Boomich tries to peek towards him, but Smooya gets a very easy opening kill. And I'm somewhat surprised that Boomich stayed exposed from that position there, because Smooya has consistently gone in towards A main. And Boomich just not going to be able to win that fight. Most of the time, Smooya will just hold that one off. And this is one of those times. The man advantage for EPSILON early on. Robin is currently over towards B, and Kvik might go for the aggression. He could be in trouble. In the meantime, though, Smooya sticking around in A main. It's Waterfalls who gets the kill back. So both AWPs find home entries. And in the meantime, Kvik also fragging out. So a man advantage now for QB Fire as, oh, Surreal just goes through the smoke, as does the second player, and Volina will clean that one up easily. Very strange decision making there from EPSILON. It seems slightly off with their calls, and Waterfall will close it out.
Yeah, just a nice performance there by the QB Fire side, especially Volina. Got blinded up and just continued to spam, and it ended up actually working out extremely well. He traded up to the AK, got the second kill, and that was basically it for the round. A good start for EPSILON, but QB Fire able to bring that one back quite successfully. And EPSILON looks like they're going to actually go ahead and buy up into this one. I agree with it, because it actually is still a fairly decent buy. They are lacking in utility. Jack only has a CZ. He did sacrifice in order to get them, in order to make sure that they have some smokes at least to work with. And right now, EPSILON, let's see where they decide to take this one. It seems like they will be grouping up mostly over in the B hall. Smooya trying to work the A bomb site for a pick. And right now, nothing's really being given to him by QB Fire, as they're playing actually quite passively into this round.
And not too much to work with in terms of utility for EPSILON, but we haven't really seen them go for too many full-on executes. There was that one round they went towards B where they used a couple of smokes, but other than that, it's mainly just been basic smokes coming in just to try and push their way forwards. And, ooh, Jimka taken down to 14 HP. He won't be too pleased about that one because he didn't even see the opponent as the spam came through in towards ramp. Having said that, QB Fire have 3 players towards B, and that's currently not where EPSILON are going. They had some presence there, now they're falling back. Having said that, Boomich just peeked up in towards ramp. He spotted out that there weren't really too many players around, so now it looks like QB Fire might have the call to go back towards A, and they have 4 players stacked there. This could get dangerous now for the EPSILON side.
Yes, certainly. Smooya though, he was able to find one. Cosmian pushing through the smoke. He hears the footsteps, but he's not going to be able to find it. Luckily enough, the trades are going to go back in favor of EPSILON, but it doesn't really last. But as I say that, Smooya is going to go ahead and prove me wrong. The caster's curse, perhaps, as Waterfalls is going to fall in that op duel, and now it's just going to be Quick that attempts to try and clutch the 1-on-2. He has been spotted, and Smooya is of course going to go ahead and close that one out, hits him twice, and EPSILON able to get themselves another round onto the board, up towards 6. QB Fire, they built up some economy at least, so they will be able to get the buyout once again. But if they lose this one, EPSILON will be able to run away with it, but on the other hand, also similar, vice versa, it is quite similar. EPSILON, they don't really have the greatest economy either, so an important gun round right now going to be coming out.
And the double AWPs this time are going to go into the hands of Kvik on the QB Fire side. Back on Cobblestone, it was Jimka picking up the AWP, but this time around, the secondary AWP is going to be Kvik. So that's interesting. He's currently out towards B, which might be why. I think he had a good spawn to peek towards upper early on, but Smooya has switched up his positioning as well. He is also in towards Brown Halls at the start of the round. He's not going to get the chance for the pick, though. Both teams just holding back, not taking too many risks early on. Just the AWPers trying to work their magic, except for Volina, who has actually gone aggressive out towards Ivy. deep smoke isn't quite good, though. There's a little gap on this right side. So Robin will walk up close, and if Volina isn't careful, he might not expect Robin to push forwards. However, now Volina has gone back a bit more passively. He's still behind this box, though, which isn't really a great angle to play from. He has, however, got waterfalls behind him. That's why he's playing that position. But either way, 53 seconds left. Finally, the first fight comes in, and Surreal just about gets the headshot. Now it's up to Vic to hold that B site.
Yeah, with EPSILON, they still have the option to maybe try and head towards the A-bomb site instead. We see, actually, currently, there is going to be a couple players down in Pop Dog. Cosmian is going to be making his way out now of A main, and Robin finds the opening. Smooya on B, getting work done. May even be able to find the second, as the bomb should be going down now with ease over towards this A-bomb site. And Chak steps it up, and actually, oh my god, what happened? Quick, he somehow dies. I'm presuming he fell off the ladder.
I didn't see, but I was just so surprised that he died, because I think Smooya was already just leaving. But yeah, there we go. QB Fire lose the round. A little bit unfortunate at the end there. I don't exactly know what happened, but all we know is that Vic killed himself, and that's never the answer, folks.
That's not going to help with the morale of QB Fire. Losing out a very important gun round there, and quite decisively, I must say, in favour of EPSILON. So looking good now for the European side. A reminder, they did take that first map. They took it, I believe it was 16 to 10, am I correct? So, yeah, right now, QB Fire need to start getting themselves into a position to try and actually make this a decent CT side on train.
Yeah, this is a technical pause from EPSILON, by the way. Just want to point that out. But while we have a moment, I'm going to quickly shout out the giveaway we currently have running here on eFrag. It is for a flip knife blue steel field tested. Very nice knife that you can win. And to enter the giveaway, you just have to subscribe on Twitch. The giveaway will eventually be drawn on Sunday after the grand final of this very tournament. So make sure to stick around for the rest of the week. We've still got plenty of games coming up. And again, just to confirm, if you want to enter that giveaway, just subscribe to us on Twitch. It also helps us out. So thank you if you do so. And other than that, back into the game. Because remember, QB Fire, I mean, it's round 12. They probably have to eco one, right?
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to eco this one. They don't really have a lot of money. They're averaging about 2,000 again. They have, in the following round, they'll have the loss bonus for 3 in a row, which means they'll get $2,400. But even with that, their buy is still going to be looking a bit weaker. I don't think they'll get an op-out. They'll be limited in terms of the utility unless they want to sacrifice maybe down to a couple of FAMASs rather than just getting the full M4 bio. So it's going to be a difficult round for them, even in the following, as EPSILON should likely be getting themselves up to an 8th here, basically for free.
Yeah, we'll get to see what QB Fire invest into this round. Don't really expect them to invest too much. They have a good enough losing bonus built up. And it looks like EPSILON are ready to get back underway. So as soon as QB Fire just let us know that they're ready, we'll get into things. And I mean, we'll see what they can do. Train is a map where there are a fair few close angles you can try to play. So that's something that EPSILON need to make sure they don't fall prey to. Especially around the trains on the A site, there are quite a few sort of awkward positions where you can get caught out. So EPSILON need to make sure they don't take this round too lightly. However, having said that, you can see QB Fire is still not investing anything. So, I mean, they shouldn't be losing this round. A Zeus and a P250 is all they have. $500 invested. I don't see them winning.
Yeah, not really. One P250, and yeah, it's going to be Boomich that goes down first. Smooya just looking to try and rack up the frags once again on this A-bomb site. When you have the op up against the default pistols out towards this A-bomb site, it's almost really impossible for them to get anything done unless you push forward, as it will be all the kills so far gone in favour of EPSILON. And Robin, even through the smoke, able to take down quick. I think he was trying to spam to take Volina down, and he gets a different player. Chak is going to go ahead and close that one out. So EPSILON, as I mentioned, they should be easily getting themselves up to an 8th round, and they do so indeed, as now QB Fire. They get that buyout that we mentioned, but as was mentioned before, it's not going to be perfect, and it looks like Boomich is going to sacrifice in order to get the utility. He goes to the MP9, which does seem to be a weapon that he likes, is something that should be mentioned.
Yeah, seems like Boomich is going to try and play up close. He had a pretty good spawn to get up close, so that's going to work quite well. He's going to go into Pop Dog, as he has quite often up until this point. It was actually Robin there who had the AWP at the start of the round because he had a good spawn, but he gets chunked down to 35 HP. That was Waterfalls doing the damage for QB Fire. So early damage, but no kill for QB Fire. Still a 5v5 that they have to play from. However, Boomich hasn't really been tested too often in Pop Dog. Again, that nade comes in, down to 64 HP. But not too much going on to start the round. EPSILON just trying to see if they could work a pick. Hasn't really happened for them, so eventually they are likely going to have to group up. But they still have a little bit of time, as I thought for a second Smooya might try and go aggressive on the edge of the smoke. Good thing he decides against it, because he probably would have died if he went for that push.
Yeah, that certainly wouldn't have been the correct decision. Smooya just spamming around in Pop Dog, hoping to try and get something done. Maybe try and find an opening, but nothing really to be found. Boomich is just in position with that MP9 up close, waiting for someone to drop, not really facing it. As now EPSILON looks like they've come to a decision. 40 seconds remaining. They have players over towards Ivy. They have a player above Pop Dog, and it looks like they will try and split towards this A bomb site. And actually, with the setup currently for QB Fire being so passive and just extremely solo, no chance for trades, this could work out in EPSILON's favor. But they need to get a move on. The time it's ticking away fast, and they may not have time to get the bomb down if they don't really speed the pace up right now. As quick, he only finds one. Surreal going to be able to step it up once again and take a double kill, but Waterfall's on the bomb site. Get this done. It's a little bit iffy on the spray, but he eventually closes that one out, and now Chak returns it. It's going back in favour of EPSILON, as it's going to be up to Waterfalls to try and clutch out a 1-on-3. Finds the first kill, but that will be it as he gets denied and shut down by Chak. EPSILON get themselves up to a 9th round.
Yeah, and this is starting to look like a pretty dominant T side at this point for EPSILON. I think the fact that the game was so back and forth at the start certainly would have favoured the EPSILON side of things. I mean, especially when you're on the T side of Train, that's exactly what you want to do. And as soon as they came out on top in that one round, they've managed to really just extend their margin for victory. But Boomich, ooh, 2 kills with the CZ. Drake will come out, and there goes Surreal for another frag. So it's only back to a 3 versus 3. But Boomich doing good damage early on, and the flank is coming through. Jimka has pushed all the way through B, as well as Volita pushing it through Ivy. So this could get interesting, but Robin shuts that down. Smooya also finds another frag. Only Jimka left.
Yeah, Jimka, unlikely he's going to be able to get too much found. He has been not really having the best performance so far throughout this entire tournament, and specifically in this best of 3 so far. Of course, the first map wasn't really his best performance. He had some impactful rounds. He's been better, and in the attempt to try and clutch this one out, he will only be able to find 1 kill, retrieve the op for himself for a small amount of time, but it was very minimal, as he was just instantly taken down. And EPSILON now already on towards double digits on the T side of Train. They'll be extremely happy about this half, and they'll have a chance to improve this even further. They have a chance to get that up to 11, as now QB Fire back onto the bye. They need this one desperately if they want to give themselves room to work with in the second half.
Yeah, here we go. Last round of this first half. And EPSILON going to go aggressive. It's Smooya in towards Ivy, who again is trying to work that opening pick, as we have seen time and time again for EPSILON, and he might get the chance to do so. I was going to say the peak was about to come in. Flash comes out. Smooya misses that opening kill. The flash forced him to flick away, and that made things awkward. And whoa, a lot of kills come out. One of them, I think, was through the smoke there towards Ivy. So QB Fire looking good here. They get all the kills to go their way. And, well, Boomich, with that USP, managed to find one of them in the mix of things. And Robin and Sak now have it all to do in a 2v5.
Yeah, looking like QB Fire will be able to get themselves that 5th round at least to work with. But of course, with still 2 players alive for EPSILON, they will 100% be going for this. No option to save. They have to try and get it done. And Robin, if you're able to hit an opening headshot like that, that definitely slightly ups your chances. Gives them a decent position now in a 2-on-4. They go towards the A-bomb site where there is currently 3 are waiting, but Robin still stepping it up massively, but unfortunately he loses his teammate, and because of that, too many angles for him to try and clear, and he does just get overwhelmed. And QB Fire getting themselves that 5th round towards the end of the half. EPSILON still in a really good position though. If they pick up the pistol, QB Fire will really be on the back foot, and it'll be looking very bleak.
And again, it's Surreal for what it's worth. Top fragging for EPSILON. Got to give him a lot of props in this series. He has really pushed EPSILON over the edge, and I think if he can continue this level, that makes this EPSILON lineup very, very dangerous indeed.
Yeah,
by the way, into this second half, I mean, you have to remember, QB Fire, as I was saying earlier, they have won 8 times in a row on Train. They really haven't been losing it recently, but this might be the first. They beat Sprout in this very tournament, and remember, the winner of this plays against Sprout. But yeah, I don't know if they can really get this comeback going. They certainly need the pistol, as you were pointing out. And here we go. Utility buys pretty standard on both sides. We're going to head underway into this vital pistol round.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be able to step it up on this one now for either side. As the smoke goes down, Jack, he rather receives an instant dink there as he tries to face and get the info. And stuck on the bomb site is going to be in a difficult situation. He is being surrounded, but he's stepping it up as it's needed. He finds one, as does Surreal, and Smooya. Will he be able to get more is the question, as somehow he does. It's actually Robin rather to take down quick, and he can chase down now. Smooya just somehow alive in this position. I don't know how this has happened. Robin and Smooya now in a really good situation as it is a 1-on-2. Boomich has to try and clutch this one out, and he does have the bomb. At least he will try and just reapproach its A bomb site. It seems he's gone for a bit of a fake to make them think that he's fell back off and just creeps his way out and towards Olaf, as he will actually be able to bypass even further now. This could get dangerous. He's in a really good position there, completely unaware of this, but Robin, he spots him out, and now Smooya, let's see if he's going to be able to get this one as he is being hunted down, and he's able to find that final kill with the Glock. He's stepping it up massively to Giant Surreal towards the top of that scoreboard now.
Oh, Fix joined the wrong team.
Oh, how did that happen?
I think Fix DC'd at some point after he died, and then he joined EPSILON for some reason. Maybe he just wants to be on the winning team. I mean, I don't blame Fix. EPSILON are having a much better time of things.
Surreal has been playing insane. Just key him, man. I'm not going to say.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You're awful.
I wanted to get the cringy joke in there. I usually have 1 or 2 per cast, so I figured now is the time.
Fair enough. I'll allow it. That was a good time for it as well. Ooh, a couple of the complexity boys in chat. Clearly supporting Surreal.
Yeah.
Def was in there as well. They're loving it. I mean, they should be loving it because EPSILON are loving it. Everyone's loving it.
I don't think QB Fire fans are loving it.
No, I guess not.
But yeah, this should be another easy round for EPSILON. Of course, QB Fire, we've seen them at points have success with these pistols, but is it going to happen this time is the question, as it looks like EPSILON are going to be playing this one quite safe. They go for the 2 FAMASs, 3 UMPs, and we know what damage can be done with all these. But then again, Deagles and CZs also in the hands of QB Fire. If they're able to close the distance with the CZs, have the Deagles back to cover, it could get dangerous in Boomich. He finds at least one before being traded up by Smooya. Chak is taken down, but kills are going to go heavily in favour of EPSILON so far, as Robin's able to finish off quick with a nade, and Valina not in a good position here, trying to escape. Will just about be able to do so, but he loses a lot of HP in the process. And now only 3 players remaining, and some of those being tagged up. This is looking very unlikely for QB Fire, especially with Cosmian being able to find a player as he comes up Pop Dog.
Oh, Smooya gets caught off guard there, and Jimka pushes through A main to get another frag. Or sorry, Cosmian pushes through to get taken down. Yeah, that was very strange. Cosmian going all the way through. And we're back to a 2-on-2. Robin is currently out towards B. On 3 HP, he could be in trouble. I'm just accidentally rhyming all over the place. But Surreal has also got a pretty good position towards Pop Dog. If the timing is right, he could catch Jimka, and there it is. He drops down the bomb, and Waterfalls now has 33 seconds to get the bomb back and also get it down on that A site. And, well, Surreal has left the bomb, so they might let him do so.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty decent chance, I guess, just wanting to work together with Robin being so low HP. They want to make sure that they can actually just clutch this one out, ensure that they're able to get trades if it's needed. And Waterfalls, he has a Molotov also, so he will be able to actually delay the push in. So that will allow the plant to be put down. And now in a 1-on-2, he's certainly in a winnable position right now. The only problem is he doesn't have that Kevlar. Aim punch could be a factor. Shouldn't really be against Robin, but Surreal, on the other hand, who's been stepping it up massively in this game, is still alive. And the fuse kit in the hands of Robin currently, once they tap this bomb, Waterfalls, he's probably going to have to go for the peak, get baited out, and then it depends if he's able to actually remain alive. As there we go. It will be tapped. Waterfalls beginning to move forward. Robin going to find that headshot. Doesn't need the HP. Able to find that with ease, as mentioned. No Kevlar. The UMP just mows him down.
Yeah, even on 3 HP, he gets the job done. Fairly quick headshot comes through. And, well, QB Fire will get a couple of AKs together. So here we go. Not an awful buy for them. Although Smooya has the AWP rifles for a fair few players on EPSILON. And into this 18th round, QB Fire are going to have to rely on those rifles for the most part. It's not an awful buy, though, all things considered. Mainly thanks to the bomb plant coming down. So let's see if QB Fire can try to keep this competitive. Still a 7-round deficit they have to overcome on their T side of Train. And remember, if QB Fire lose this map, their Katowice dreams are over. And ooh, a little bit of damage done early on there through the smoke. Waterfalls, one of the AK players, taken down a little bit lower, but nothing considerable to start the round.
Yeah, QB Fire now. It's not looking so good. Going for the buy into this one. If they lose this, this is likely just going to be the game spiraling out of control. But Valina, he has the deagle, and I believe he even spotted out Robin there just as he faded back off that angle. Probably doesn't want to reface it. He will actually now that Jump is in position, and they're able to find it. That's great teamwork by QB Fire. And luckily, Boomich gets taken down in the process. Maybe with the op is going to be able to at least drop one player, and I don't think he's actually aware that another is creeped out into Olaf. But Surreal steps it up on B, anchoring this bomb site as he takes down Valina, and now QB Fire with 3 rifles remaining up against the 4 of EPSILON. Let's see what they're going to be able to get done towards this A bomb site. And quick, the answer is nothing for him, at least. His Chak is going to just instantly peek in and take him down, and he does the same for Waterfalls as Smooya closes it out with the AWP, and EPSILON take themselves the 13th round.
And this time a dominant round win, 4 players surviving. And it just feels like EPSILON have been in control of this game the entire time. QB Fire again just going to be probably going for a force. No, they decide against it. I mean, at this point, they're so far behind that I think if you're trying to win, forcing is probably the best option, but they're going to try and just get it done with the pistols, and Cosmin will find quite an easy opening kill. He did go down to 30 HP, so maybe slightly more difficult than I am giving Jimka credit. Ooh, T-Sack. Or sorry, Sack. I keep calling him T-Sack. Oh my god, I'm going to have to get over that. But
I
Sack
forgive you, but Twitch chat doesn't.
Twitch chat hates me. Oh, okay. Sack getting another kill through the smoke. He's having a good time out towards Ivy. There's Volina and Kvik left. Kvik did find 1 kill. They're going to try and get their way towards A. However, it's not going to be easy with just the pistols.
Yeah, so well, we see that eco being cleaned up there easily by EPSILON. Well, not quite easily, but we will go ahead and just anyway give you guys some quick info. We are having a giveaway on the channel. It will be a Flip Knife Blue Steel that's going to be given away to subscribers after the grand final of Farmskins, which will take place on Sunday. So if you want to get yourself in with a chance to be able to actually pick up that knife for yourself, being able to win that one, make sure to subscribe. It doesn't matter what tier, because once you are a sub, you will be entered into the draw. And now QB Fire, they get the rifles back out, but this is probably their last chance with the full buy. If they aren't able to take this one, EPSILON likely going to be taking this series 2-0. So let's see what they're going to be able to get done now, as it seems to be just a fairly standard default. They're splitting up, making sure they stick together at least to try and find the trades and find an opening kill if possible. But Chak, he gets the info towards the IV position, just draws on a smoke, and the spam actually coming in by Waterfalls is successful at connecting more damage. So early on QB Fire, taking a slight HP advantage.
Ooh, Surreal with that second AWP is getting somewhat aggressive here in towards A main. He's not going to spot anyone out though, because QB Fire have just fallen back. Ooh, Boomich hasn't quite got the bomb there, so they're leaving that behind. There we go. Now Boomich goes back for the bomb. There we go. Eventually picks it up. So it looks as though QB Fire will just look to group up around B. With quite a lot of time left on the clock, they don't have to commit to this if they don't want to. They could try and sell the fake. They have the utility to try and pull it off. But at the same time, I mean, EPSILON, they've got quite good positions here. Robin can spot in towards ramp quite easily. Oh, he did body block that smoke. That could be important. Still lands in a fairly decent position, and here we go. Push comes in. Robin's already found the first kill. Smooya also has the AWP, but it's Cosmin to chime in with a second frag, and Robin also doubles down. Smooya gets a kill, and it's just EPSILON fragging out on the B hold. Boomich is going to run the hell away. 1v4. And, well, it looks like QB Fire at this point, I think they might just be crashing out of this qualifier.
Yeah, going up in flames, I guess would be the best way to put it. Last man standing in a 1-on-4. A couple low HP players, but you can see he has already been... He's basically already run out of time. He's just going to be left lurking up in the halls. 5 seconds remains, and unless he's somehow invented teleport technology, I think this is going to be EPSILON claiming themselves map and serious point. And as you can see, it will indeed be that. Robin actually called for a pause, so we may have a pause going into this following round for a couple of moments. I'm not quite sure why, but... will at least be called for the moment. I presume technical, if it's called by EPSILON, a tactical pause at this point would probably be a little bit strange and maybe even a bit BM. So I guess with 2 UK players that could be a possibility, but it has been removed and we will be getting live back into this one.
Yeah, here we go. What could be the last round of this series? Remember, the winner still has to beat Sprout to get through to the playoffs, and well, Smooya's already got 2 kills. Cosmin does get chunked down low, but be able to get a kill. However, it's actually Smooya to get his 3rd and a 4th. How is Smooya doing this? Robin steals away the final frag. And there we go. EPSILON take it 16-5. Back to the desk to break that one down.
Seems like EPSILON is too strong for QB Fire even on train, demolishing them 16-5. really dominant performance coming out of EPSILON. Congrats to them. They now move on to the final of Group D against Sprout. So pretty interesting match coming up. Of course, Sprout yesterday played against QBF, and QBF unfortunately are out of Farmskins Championship Season 2. Hopefully they can bounce back stronger. Is that a cliché now?
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah, of course, but yeah, let's break this train down. I mean, nothing working for QBF. I mean, they started on City, right? No, they started T.
QBF started on City.
City, yeah. So started on City, and again, EPSILON gave them no respect. Like what QBF did basically at major qualifiers or major itself was playing loose, playing with the individual skill, and that's what EPSILON did on train on T side as well. I mean, stomping them pretty heavily, and then going into CT. Again, nothing to... like QBF is not even on the map. Smuja, really aggressive picks with AWP. Kozmin had a really good game once again. So Danny, overall,